Hey guys, it's Di from BeingMommywithStyle, and today I'm going to do a moving question and answer vlog, and these are your questions that I've gotten asked on Instagram, on Facebook, and here on YouTube in the comments. And so at the time that I'm filming this, the lifestyle changes video has just gone live. So you guys have seen the videos up to that point, but I have to say I'm really excited about how excited you guys are about this change. I really didn't know what the reaction was going to be, so it makes me really happy to see you guys' excitement, and especially about the area that we're going to, and just to know that we actually have a lot of viewers around that area. It's really, really neat. So thank you for that so much, because it's not really that I thought I was going to get a negative reaction. I just didn't know if people were going to be like, oh, you're moving again. Like, you know, but actually people are really like happy for us, and that makes me happy. So it's lots of good things, and I'm very excited about all of the potential opportunities. So I'm going to jump into questions here, and I will try to answer them. Some of them I just have on a list, so I don't have the names of some of the people that I asked, so sorry about that. But let me just kind of jump in here and we will get right into it. So on YouTube, on the lifestyle changes video, I just had it pulled up and now it's back down again. Regenio family asks, I know you said in your previous video that one of the reasons you bought in an expensive area was due to the excellent school system. Will this continue to be a priority? I'm not familiar with the educational system in Alabama, so this is interesting to me. So, really good question. So yes, schools are still a priority for us, and we have ended up in a situation where basically all of the stars have aligned, and we have ended up to get my husband into a position where he's gonna have more family time. We're able to save money and the cost of living is less, and we are able to be close to all these things that we love to do, like Disney and the beach and that sort of thing, and closer to family, and the schools are still really good in the area where we bought a house. So I never thought we would be in a situation like this where literally the stars have aligned. It's kind of unbelievable, and I guess because I'm not in it yet, I feel like I'm a little bit hesitant to like get super happy about that, but that's literally like the situation, how it's presenting itself. Like, that's the way that the stars have aligned. So yes, school system is still very important to us, and that was a consideration when we considered this move. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit of backstory, because I know I try not to be really specific about the areas that we live in, like for privacy and safety reasons. But when we were in Illinois and Bella was finishing up preschool and going into kindergarten, and like school started to become like this, you know, huge issue, we were in a part of Illinois that really, and if you're from Illinois, I mean, I think you can kind of, you know, agree with this, has some of the worst schools in the state of Illinois. I mean, really just not great schools for a lot of different reasons. And there are private school options there, but it was really not wanting to do private school with my girls. I mean, I went to public school, my husband went to public school. I just want them to have that public school experience. I mean, I loved going to public school. So I kind of got in a little bit of a panic when we were in Illinois and we were faced with, you know, like we were in the best schools of that area, but they weren't nationally ranked, and they're really kind of the lowest of the low in Illinois as it is. I mean, even lower ranked than, I come from a small little town in the bottom of the state of Illinois, and they were even lower ranked than that. And so, you know, we were really faced with this decision of like, what do we do? And moving to a different area was not an option in Illinois, because we'd have to move so far away, and the commutes there, because of the traffic patterns, would just, they'd be insurmountable. There was no way we could move out far enough from where these schools were and my husband still be able to commute. So we were kind of like felt stuck in that situation. So luckily this is where the company he was working for at the time was headquartered, and he was able to make the jump back over to Michigan, so Bella was able to go to kindergarten here. We knew exactly where we wanted to live over here. We are literally in some of the best schools in the nation here. I mean, just hands down, there is research to back that up, nationally ranked. I can say this now because we are moving out of here, but literally the #3 high school in Michigan, where we live, and ranked in the top 300s of schools in the entire nation. We're talking 22,000 high schools in the top 300, so that's really, really high, right? So that was a huge priority. We knew we wanted to end back in this school district because it's such an awesome school district. So that was a huge priority. So when this move opportunity presented itself, it was definitely a huge consideration. Like, what are the schools like there, and what would we be putting the girls into? I definitely did not want to get in a situation like what we were in Illinois, where it was like, you know, cost of living was low and the job was pretty good, but it was like the schools are horrible, and what kind of opportunities are the girls going to have coming out of this? So we researched the schools in this area of Alabama that we're going to be in, and as it turns out, Alabama has a lot of highly ranked school districts and a lot of highly ranked high schools. And so what I feel like we're going into is very, very comparable. In fact, I'm on a couple Alabama boards, and I've had some people contact me that have moved from Michigan to Alabama, and they've said, you know, hey, if your kids struggle with this area or that area, they may need tutoring when they get down to Alabama because their schools are more advanced in math and science down there. Now, luckily, I'm not worried about that with Bella because that's like her forte. She's super good at math. Like, I try not to brag about this stuff, guys, but honestly, like all of her math tests this year, she literally got hundreds on pretty much all of them. So she's just really good at math. She's good at writing. So I'm not worried about her necessarily catching up when she goes to these schools. But the area that we're moving into is very math and science and STEM oriented. And so the schools are really, really good with that kind of stuff, and I think it's going to be a great fit for her. So they're nationally ranked. I don't want to give the numbers, but very comparable to this area. So out of 22,000, they're in the top 1,000, and so I feel like they're going to get a really good education in the school system. So I'll leave it at that, but yes, the schools are really good that we're moving into, and they have awesome programs for science and technology, engineering, math, and so I think it'll be a good fit for us because Bella especially likes that. And then Natalie, since she's just starting out in kindergarten, she can kind of start with everyone else, and I don't have to worry about like catching her up. She's obviously more my drama and creative girl, but you know, I think they'll be great schools for her too. So a couple more questions from the video today. Jordan asked, when you move, can you do a house tour? And I'll definitely do a house tour of this house, moving out of it, like a full one. And then I'll definitely give you guys like the intro, like peek at our house, at the new house when we get there. And then Jasmine asked, when you get to the new house, can you film you and the kids' reactions to it? I will definitely try to do that because it will be the first time us seeing it literally when we show up to move in. So I'll get one of those little selfie sticks or something and carry it around and film my reaction for sure. Let me see if there's any other questions from this video today, and then I have some other ones from Facebook and on the sheet. So it's on down. There's a lot of comments, and I don't want to spend a lot of time struggling to find it here. So I know someone kind of asked this, and I apologize that I don't have your name, but I was going to plan on answering this even if no one asked this because I felt like it was a relevant question, but luckily someone asked it, so thank you for asking on YouTube. So someone asked, because we are downsizing, what are we gonna have to get rid of furniture-wise and, you know, things around the house-wise? And I thought that that was a really like relevant question. So it has two sitting areas, so it has a living room and a family room. So all of the sitting furniture that you see behind me will all go with this. Also a priority when we were comparing houses and looking at houses, I really wanted to keep my dining room furniture because I really, really like it. So we have a house that has a dining room. And so one thing that is different is it has a kitchen and then it has an island, but the island has like a seating area hanging off of it where we can put like bar stools or whatever, so that can be like our breakfast area. But there's no like dedicated area for a kitchen table, which to be honest with you, I live in a house right now that has a table, a wall, and then another table, which really doesn't make the most sense. So the table in the kitchen, the round one, will be going, and we have some family friends that they are just starting out getting like the first house, and it so happens that they need a kitchen table, and I'm able to give that to them and kind of help them out. So I'm happy about that and kind of excited that it's going to go to a good home. So that's what's going to happen with that. And then some of these coffee tables may end up going if I don't have room for them, but that's no big deal. I'll just donate them. And then I have this window seat over here that is actually left over from like a couple houses ago. It really hasn't had a home. It just keeps floating from house to house. It'll probably get moved and it probably won't have a home, and it'll probably get donated. So all the girls' furniture is going down right now, but what we are considering doing is getting the girls twin beds so they have more space in their rooms. And I'm actually looking right now at low loft beds, not full bunk beds, but low loft beds so they have storage and playroom underneath. I think that's kind of a cool idea to kind of maximize space, and it's a little bit safer than a full bunk bed. But that's what I'm looking at right now for their rooms, because their rooms are a basic size, like I think like a 12 by 12 type of room. The big change is going to be there's no playroom. So I've always been an advocate of the playroom, which I still am in the younger years. But my girls are 5 and 7 now, and especially with Bella, I've seen as she's gotten older, she spends less and less time in the playroom. So it got to the point where we were started this process, and like literally I was trying to keep an eye on like how much time they were using, because we did look at a couple houses that had like loft rooms that we could have used as a playroom. And I literally kept track one week, and Bella and Natalie didn't step foot in that playroom downstairs at this house for over a week and a half. And at that point, I told my husband, I said, look, we can completely do away with this playroom. They are not gonna miss it. We can consolidate the toys, put them in their rooms, and transition out of it. It really, really served its purpose when they were smaller and younger. But now that they're getting older, they love spending time in their rooms. They kind of filter back and forth between each other's rooms. And I think that that's gonna work out fine for the ages and stages that we're in now. So when they were younger, you can make it work either way, but that's the way it's gonna be now. And then we also have an amazing outdoor space, so really we're just moving our playroom outside. And so that's where that stuff's gonna go. So that's some of the big changes, the things we're gonna be getting rid of. Maybe eventually their furniture, and possibly some of the office stuff, but the playroom, I'm really gonna have to be like editing down a lot of it. The TV that's at the playroom, I'll probably put in the living room at this house, and then the kitchen table will be going. So there are some bigger pieces of furniture we'll be getting rid of this time. Like the train table for sure is going, kitchen table is going. The dollhouse, question mark, I don't know yet. You know, because here's the problem, is because like American Girl videos are part of my business. So like I've thought about putting that in the office, but I don't know how that's gonna work yet. So that's question mark still, but a lot of the playroom stuff's gonna go. So then I'm trying to find the specific people that asked it. So we'll say Tara on Facebook asked, will this be more of a permanent move for you? And then this was asked like kind of in a number of different places in various ways. But the question of like, are we planning on keeping moving, or are we gonna, you know, stay there for a while? I never really know how to answer this, because people in my like real life have asked me this too, and it's like, I mean, I don't really ever think that we go into a move planning to move again, but it just keeps happening. He either gets offered a better job or this or that, but it would have to be really something major for us to move again, because of the series of like just all these stars have aligned. So we're literally gonna be in a situation where we're saving money, closer to family, the weather's better, you know, his job's better, the schools are good. I mean, I don't know what would get us out of that situation. Also, along that same vein, someone else asked, would we ever consider moving abroad? I don't really know that that's high on our list. If I didn't have kids, I would definitely consider it. But at this point in time, I'm really not. I'm interested in traveling abroad and visiting abroad, but I'm not really that interested in living abroad. He has had opportunities in the past where he's kind of gotten like on the radar for like jobs in Brazil, and I was like, I will see you in a year. I really don't want to move down there. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's not really on our radar right now to move abroad. I mean, I never say never, but for the time being, I would really hope to get in a situation where we can get settled. You know, that's always the goal. We would like to get settled. I mean, my husband and I both moved around a lot as kids, and so I think that's why it doesn't really bother us as adults, because we've been basically nomads our entire life. But I think that we both want something different for our children. So I do think that yes, we would like to get to a point where we aren't moving all the time. Never say never either way though, honestly, is my. A couple people asked the thoughts of what the girls thought, and I actually did a whole video on that, and I asked them the questions. So they've been doing really well, you know, as far as the idea of the move. And of course it's like, you know, I don't want to like miss my friends, and I don't want to move from the school because they know it. But I think honestly, once we get down there and they see the new house and the new school and we get settled in, it's gonna go great. And neither girl really had like that one friend that they gravitated to. Isabella had a little guy that his name was close to ours in the alphabet, and so like she buddied with him a lot. But as far as like having that one best friend that they were gonna make for life, like that hasn't happened for either one of them. So you know, as far as the friend aspect, I feel like we can go down there, and they're both social creatures, especially Natalie. And she like literally, like we went to the park today and she like ran up and there was other kids there, and she's like, I'm gonna go make some new friends. So, you know, especially her, she just makes friends wherever she goes. And so, you know, I think we'll get down there and we'll meet people in our subdivision, and we'll meet people, you know, at school and just outings and things like that. And, you know, they'll make it just like we will. So I'm going on Instagram, and it seems like most of the questions on there I answered in other videos. So I think I'll leave most of these because I think most of them have been answered. However, the question of when are you going to Disney? When are you going to Disney? Which I think I answered in a different video, but let's talk about Disney for a minute just because I feel like it always circles back around to Disney. We are still planning on going to Disney World, and I would eventually like to go on another Disney cruise too, by the way, but that's probably not going to happen until 2018 now. But we are planning on going to Disney World in 2017. It originally was planned for the summer with a bounce back that we booked on our November trip last year. Those bounce back dates were blocked out for certain months out of this year. So they had to be used by like the end of August, or then you couldn't use them again until like December. Like the whole time period was just like blocked out. And so I had planned a summer trip because I thought, oh, we'll go down, we'll do water parks and have a different type of trip. And that was what I had planned it in my mind. Well, this event came up in our lives and I pushed that trip back. And then I decided that it wasn't going to work to push it back because school starts actually in Alabama in August. And so I pushed it back to about the 3rd week of August, but then I was like, I don't want them to start school in a new spot and then have to pull them out of school, and then rumor has it that may not be as easy as it is here too. I was like, I just don't want to get into that soon in the school year. I don't want to be like that person that like 3 weeks into school, I'm already pulling them out for a trip. And so I canceled that trip because there was literally no other week I could move it to that would work for our schedule, that would still go with that bounce back. So I did lose that 30% off, but that's okay because it's like a hypothetical 30% anyways, right? It's only 30% off if you actually use it. But what I did do is I booked a new reservation in the fall for a time period when they didn't have school anyways, and that is our new plan. So we're planning on doing Art of Animation, which I'm very excited about because I think that'll be a great fit for us. And they have Ariel rooms. We're gonna be doing the Ariel breakfast and the Rapunzel breakfast. Thanks to the kindness of a wonderful soul, I have already filled in all the reservations that I had lost because I had all my dining reservations all set for that August trip. And so I filled in all of those reservations. I have them all set. And I think the only thing I might still be looking for is like Akerhouse. Like I might do that for lunch or dinner. But if I don't get that, that's not the end of the world because we have eaten there before. But we have that new Princess Breakfast, which I think they're gonna flip. They were asking to do Chef Mickey's again. The first day I changed my reservation, Chef Mickey's popped right up at a time that worked for us. So again, it's just that whole like stars aligning thing. So that trip will be great. We've gone in the fall and we know it works for us. We probably will even do the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party because why not? We're there. So I probably need to look into getting tickets for that sometime soon so they don't sell out. But that's the plan for that. So then we'll do that trip, and after the dust settles, I am highly, highly thinking annual pass at some point if I don't already upgrade my ticket to an annual pass on that trip. So we'll see what happens, but I gotta wait and see because there's some extra things which you guys will see coming up with our house that we want to do. Not like big projects or anything, but you'll see when you see the house and you'll understand. And then, you know, this house is still in the market. So I'm just trying to be as conservative as possible until this one is sold. We have gotten offers on this one. No one's asked about that, but we have gotten offers on this one. And, you know, working it out, it's just not completely a done deal. So until, like, this house is gone, and then we're just dealing with that one house down there, I probably would wait until I'm in that situation to do the annual pass and everything. So anyhow, it's all down the line. I can kind of look at things over a period of time and kind of see things off into the future. So I'm completely fine, like kind of planning, you know, in different stages. That's perfectly fine for me. So that's what I'm thinking. So I think that's the majority of the questions for this question and answer vlog. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I really think that actually I did a good job anticipating them because most of the questions people had, I anticipated what they were gonna be. I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back because I feel like I've got a handle on this moving series this time. So I should knock on wood. But anyhow, oh, no one asked, but I do have my St. Joseph outside. He's been put to work. He's here at the house, and so we're just waiting for the right buyer to be here at the right time and work itself out. So that is that. Thanks so much for watching today, and we will be back with more vlogs next week because I'm planning, I think, running this on a Friday. So we will be back with more vlogs next week, some day in the life vlogs, and then also some moving topic vlogs. So if there's anything you want to see, I will be sure to try to do those. And also, I will be doing a full tour of this house that I will air after we've moved out, and also showing you guys, of course, the new house when we move in. So that is it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.